everyone and welcome back. If this is your first time, I hope you'll stay. Espero que te quedes. Now, if you've been on this channel before, you'll know that we have a playlist for GCSE students which focuses on learning vocab alphabetically. So if you want to see the videos previously to G, please go and check that out, and then you can come back and watch G. So we are on la letra G today. As usual, we go in order with our verbs, our adjectives and our nouns, and some useful expressions that you should know if you're studying GCSE and you hope to take it up later at a higher level. Okay, enough of that introduction. I feel as though that was a little bit too long, but anyways, without further ado, we are going to start. We are going to start as usual with the verbs. Okay, so if you follow me over here, you will notice I have your 10 verbs, and some of them will seem very familiar to you and some of them perhaps not, so you will need a pen for those words that you do not yet understand. Okay, so we're going to go through them quite quickly. No jazz, it is just vocab. Remember, vocabulary can be quite dull, so if you don't want to be bored of just learning this way, remember that you ought to be thinking about reading. Okay, don't get any complicated books with really big words that you don't understand or that you haven't seen, because you are going to lose interest straight away. Just same as if you're reading in English and the words are too complex or it's just too much jargon, we're not interested and we will give it up. Ask your teacher what books they recommend, because perhaps you might find that you have some easy readers in your language department for Spanish readers. Okay, all right, so that being said, and of course listening, try and get some listening in, and that way you are learning vocab also. Okay, ganar is our first verb, which we absolutely need to know, and it means to win. So to win a prize, to win a competition, but it's also to make a living. Gano la vida pintando. I make a living painting. Okay, so ganar is to win normally, which is what you've seen it as, to win. Okay, or to make money, ganar dinero. Otherwise it's win. Fantastic. Next one is quite easy. It looks like this is the English, doesn't it? Garantizar, which is to guarantee. Okay, to guarantee something. Okay, fantastic. Okay, right. So gastar is to waste. You will see this in your revision book as to waste. To waste electricity, gastar electricidad, gastar dinero, yes? But it's also to spend. Voy a gastar en cosas importantes. I'm going to spend money on important things. So gastar dinero is not always to waste. It does not always mean to waste money, but to spend money. Okay? You can say no gastes dinero. Don't waste money. Or voy a gastar dinero en algo importante. I'm going to spend money on something important. So remember, sometimes the meaning might differ depending on context. Okay, so be careful with that one. Okay, moving on, a nice easy one for you. Guiar, again, it tells you what it means, because it's the same word in English when you take off the AR from that. It is indeed guide. Okay, we all need to some guidance in the world. We need someone to guide us. Guide. Okay, to guide. Next, grabar, which is to. Ahora estoy grabando. I'm taping now. Okay, I'm recording. That's grabar. To record or to tape. Okay, to record. Oh, do you know what it is as well? It also means I have a bracelet that I have he grabado mi nombre en un brazalete. Okay, so to engrave. If ever you see it somewhere and it doesn't quite add up in your head, perhaps it's because the meaning is engrave, to engrave. Okay. See, lots of these have multiple meanings, and so that's the beauty as well of watching these videos, because sometimes I do go over the different meanings. Okay, graduar, again, is quite easy because it's the same. You take off the AR and you get English root as well, which is to graduate. Why do you need this? Because you're all going to graduate from school. You will talk about when you graduate from school in the future. It's a good verb and it comes up, so it's one that you need to make sure you have down. Okay? I'm sure you've seen the following: left, right, and center. Gusta. So that's the first verb I think we teach you. One of the first 10 verbs we teach you in year 7, gustar, which is to like. I'm sure I didn't even have to put this one. To like. Okay? Me gustas. Okay? I like you. Me gustan. A mí me gustan las patatas fritas. I like chips. There you go. Key verb indeed. And girar, which is to turn. Okay? Turn the page. Okay? Turn the page. Okay? Turn the corner. Okay? Girar a la esquina. Okay? Very good. Gestionar, a good one, to manage. To manage your life. I don't know, what do you manage? What do you have to manage at the moment? And the last one, generar, which is to generate. Again, it's exactly the same in English. Gener, take off the AR and add your AT to generate. Okay? Generate. Fabulous. The great thing about a lot of these verbs is that you can guess what they mean just by purely looking at the words and think, well, looks like the English word. If I am to take off the AR or the ER or the IR and add an adequate English ending, et, for example, which is what we've seen most of the time. It's just adding ATE, isn't it? All right, okay. We are going to go over now to our adjectives, and I hope you know at least half of these already, but I'm just going to start, okay? Gracioso, it looks like gracious, but it's actually funny. Es muy gracioso. He's very funny. Funny, ha ha ha. Okay? Next, I love this for you. Grosero. Mi vecino es un poco grosero. Okay? My neighbor is a little bit grosero. Rude. Grosero. Not very nice at all. Mean. So not mean as in stingy, but mean as a rotten attitude. Not very nice. Es muy grosero. Okay. Next one I love. Gandul. So gandul is a colloquial expression that we'd use to say somebody is vago, somebody is lazy, okay? Mi amiga es muy gandula. Gandul if it's a boy, gandula if it's a girl. So lazy. Gandul. One of your key adjectives, genial, which just means great. I know you know that one. Why do I know you know that one? Because you use that one a lot. Next one, grasiento, which is fatty. Yes, it's a bit fatty. Fatty as in, you know, like meat fatty. Ah, no me gusta esta pizza, es que es muy grasienta. Okay, grassy, not grassy. So fatty or greasy. I prefer greasy rather than fatty, but it's the same. Greasy. Or fatty. Okay? Muy bien. The next one I think is one that you will see later on. Gratificante, which is gratifying, it's fulfilling. Okay? Mi trabajo es muy gratificante. Okay? My job is really fulfilling. You know, I love what I do. It's gratifying. So that's the same. It's the same. So fulfilling or okay, fulfilling. or gratifying. I'm not going to put gratifying in because it's the same word, okay? Goloso, we've seen as well, and it just means you have a sweet tooth, okay? So sweet tooth. Okay, I have a very sweet tooth, okay? I love sweet things. Gratuito, you should know, free, okay? When you don't pay for something, coge un libro, es gratuito, okay? So take a book, it's free, gratuito, okay? Next one, grotesco, it's the same, grotesque, hideous, okay? Grotesco, hideous. And grave, I don't even need to put that one down in English because it means the same, okay? Grave, serious. Actually, I'll put serious down so you remember. Serious. Es una situación muy grave, okay? It's a very serious matter, okay? Okay, quickly because we're running out of time a little bit, okay? So, we're going to look at nouns, sustantivos. First one we have is gitano, which is a gypsy. It means gypsy. Gypsy. So we talk about the gypsy community in Spain a lot because obviously it's a very important community. So, gitano, okay? Great. Geografía. If you see, I've put a star next to geografía, to geography, because it's a reminder that you need to brush up on your subjects, okay? Historia, ciencia, all of those, okay? Geografía, which is geography. I'm not going to write that down because you know what it is. Guitarra, guitar. Equally, it has a star beside it to remind you that you need to also have a little look at musical instruments, okay? Globalización. Again, globalization. I don't need to put that next to it. Grúa. Grúa is a crane. So you'll normally see them on building sites for builders to get up very high. And it's also a tow truck as well, okay? So it's a crane or a tow truck. Crane or a tow truck. If you break down, you will need una grúa. Right, okay? So tow truck or a recovery vehicle, as we say in the UK, okay? Grúa. Fantastic. Now we're going to move on. Gusano, which is a worm. Why have I put worm on the list? I'll tell you in a minute. Worm. Why do we have worm on our GCSE list? Why? Well, because it's a word we confuse with this one, with guisante. Now, guisante, we've seen when we've done food, because it's a vegetable. Do you remember what it is? A mí no me gustan los guisantes. Guisante is a pea, okay? So pea, green peas, yellow peas I don't think they exist. So green peas, I love green peas. Los guisantes verdes. So I don't know why we mix these two up. We get these two confused, gusano and guisante. So be careful. Gusano is a worm which you don't eat. And guisante is the green thing that, green vegetable, is a green vegetable that a lot of us don't really feel so comfortable eating. Okay? Right, so don't get them confused. One's wriggly, one's circular, and it's quite good for you. Right, next one, gripe. La gripe, although it ends in E, and it means flu. Okay? It's flu season now. Es la época de la gripe ahora. Okay? It's flu season. Right, next one, garganta. Garganta, which is your throat. I should put a star on this as well, so you make sure you know the parts of the body which perhaps you haven't seen or you haven't revised lately, okay? And of course, I could not leave gente off the list, and I know you know what gente means, but just in case there's a Year 7 student watching, gente means people, okay? Right, people. Hay mucha gente. And remember, people, even though it ends in an E, it is actually a feminine word, so it's la gente. Okay? Right. Okay, very well. This video is going on too long, so I'm going to finish off with our expressions. The first one is ganar la partida, which means to come out on top. You've done something and you've come out on top, you know, you come out smelling the roses. Has ganado la partida. Okay, that's our first one. Next one, con mucho gusto, with great pleasure. I did something with mucho gusto, con mucho gusto, with a lot of pleasure. You did it because it made you happy to do it. If you take off the con and you say mucho gusto, that means pleased to meet you. Okay, it's a pleasure to meet you. So that's taking off the con. Next one I have for you is dejarse guiar por alguien. So that's quite self-explanatory. To be swayed by something, to be influenced by something. Okay? So dejarse guiar por algo o alguien. Maybe you allow yourself to be swayed by someone. Okay? Right. And the last one I have is gritar, which is to shout. Gritar a los cuatro vientos, which means to shout it from the rooftops. Okay? I told you that in private, and when we got upset with each other, you went y lo gritaste a los cuatro vientos. Oh, can't believe you did that. Got upset with me and you went and you shouted my secret from the rooftops. Don't know if I can forgive you for that one. Not sure I can. Okay, so those are your expressions. These are your words for the letter G. Don't get stressed out about it. Do 20 minutes of revision a day, and it will help. Read, watch, find something, whether it's a show on TV, it's a series, whatever it is, it's a movie. Don't just study vocabulary, be active about it, okay? Find someone to practice with. For me, I just feel the best thing that you can do, and you can do wherever, whatever time, is read, okay? Find yourself a good book, and if you can't find yourself a good book, find articles online, and it's not a bad idea to follow some Hispanic or Spanish people online, or even on here. And with that, guys, I'm going to leave you, and I'm going to remind you once more that if you've not already subscribed to the channel, you can do that down below, okay? And so with that, voy a decir adiós. ¡Qué frío!